Dear students, in the last class what we have studied related to force and pressure. Force and pressure we have studied in the last class. By applying force, what we can do, children? We can change the state of the object, we can change the motion of the object, etc. And we have learned different types of forces. There are mainly two groups we made. Which are the two groups we made? Contact force and non-contact forces. In the contact forces, which are the forces we studied? Mainly, there are how many types contact forces we studied, children? Do you remember? How many forces we studied in the contact forces? First one we studied muscular force, right? Then second one we studied which force? Friction, right? So in this chapter today we will study about the new chapter, namely friction. In detail we will study that one. So the chapter is related to friction, the various aspects related to friction. In detail we will study in this class. Okay. Now, you have seen when vehicles go on a road, you continuously have to use your muscular energy or your diesel or petrol you have to use, and when the red signal comes in the traffic, you will apply the brake, then it stops. Now, how it is possible? When you apply the brake, what happens? That is one situation. Another situation is you are walking on the road. If banana peel is there, you will slip while walking, right? Or if the ground is wet in your house, the floor is wet, the marble floor, there are more possibility you will slip while walking on it. And imagine your mind, you are walking on the road and you are walking on the seashore on the sand. Is there any change in the walking speed? Exactly. This all related to the friction. Okay. Now to study about friction, just I will do one activity. Already you have seen it. Just I will push the ball, and this ball after some time stops, right? If you push the ball in this side also, direction also, it stops. I push the ball like this way now, it stopped here. Or if I will push in this direction, the ball stopped after moving some distance. So in whichever direction I push this ball, it moved a little distance, then it stopped. Now, why this ball stopped its motion? Why it stopped? Because when I apply the force on the ball in this direction, you know, to make an object to move, you need force, right? Then to make an object, moving object to stop, then also you need a force. Now here I applied the force, right? It started to move. But it is stopping here. It means there is another force acting on this ball, moving ball in the opposite direction. That is the reason it stopped. Now can you see anyone applying the force? When see, now I am applying the force, it started to move, then it stopped. While stopping, have you seen anyone applying the force in the opposite direction? No. But who is applying then? But the force is applied here, no doubt, because it stopped its movement. Now who is applying the force? Now when this ball is moving, this is the table, it will come in contact. So most probably effect of this table made it stop, and that effect is nothing but the friction. Not only ball, if you take any object like book also you can take, I will push the book, see in this direction. It stopped. Or I can apply the force in the opposite direction, whether it will move, continuously move, you see? No, it also stopped after some time. or if I'll apply the force, see now, in this direction, then also stop. Whichever way I will apply the force, it stops. There is no such thing that you have to apply this side force, then only it stops the book. No. Whichever direction you apply the force, the book stops. It indicates whenever there is object is moving, it come in contact with any surface, that first surface apply a force on this moving object in an opposite direction, it opposes the motion and it stops. If you apply in the direction, the oppose will be in this direction. If you apply the force along this direction, the oppose will be along this direction. It is quite opposite to the force in which it is applied. That force is nothing but the friction. Okay. Now, I said when walking on the road, if you get banana peel on the road, you slip there. Okay. Because when your leg come in contact with this banana leaf, the friction value changes and it results in slipping of your leg. Same way, when you walk on your house on the marble floor, if it is wet is there, it makes you change your value of the friction. It reduces actually, and you cannot have the good grip on the earth or the floor, you will slips there. Understood? Same manner on the surface of the sand if you walk, or on the road if you walk. There is change in the surface, again friction changes, because friction depend on the surface of contact. Okay. Now before studying that, now how we'll measure the force acting on any object? Can we measure it? There is a device called spring balance. Can you see the spring balance? This is the spring balance. The device called spring balance. This we will use to find the force, how much force acting on the any object. Okay. Now here we have, when you tie this here, the objects, it will apply the force. Can you see here, there is one spring is there, it will extend, the spring will expand, and this pointer, there is a pointer, can you see, this is the pointer, this pointer will move accordingly, and there is an graded scale is there to indicate the how much force is acting on the objects. Just we will do one activity. I will take one book and I want to apply the force. I will pull it. How much force it will act on that book, we will see. So I tried the object, book I have taken, and I will pull it now. When I will pull it, you can see the pointer will move down like this. So can you observe, when I will pull it, it will come down. What is the number here? It is at 50. Can you see? I will pull it now. It will come down. See now. When I will pull it. Okay. Now I can change that force by keeping some polythene bag on the surface. Now I changed the surface. See now what is the force acting. Is it more or less now? You just observe. Now it is at a different reading it will give. First it is more when I use this polythene bag here to pull it, to wrap this book. Then when I pulled it, the balance reading will be showing different. So when you change the surface, the frictional force changes. Okay. So friction depends on the surface. Friction depends on the surface. So on which surface the motion is taking place, that it depends. If it is smooth surface, friction is very less. If the surface is rough, then the friction is more. That is the reason it is easy to walk on the road compared to walk on the sand, because when you walk on the sand, the friction will be more. Your leg and sand, when they will come in contact, the two surfaces, there the friction is more, so it is difficult to walk. But at the same time, in a smooth surface, if still water if you use, it still reduces the friction. Or if you put oil on the floor, it reduces the friction and smoothly you will slip actually, right? And this is the way the surface will play a very important role in determining the friction. More the smooth surface, friction is less and movement will be better. Understood? So surface will play a very important role. Now if you come across the different types of frictions, how many types of friction we can have? Types of friction. Now before studying the types of friction, there are different types, like static friction is there, second one rolling friction is there, and third one sliding friction. About the rolling friction or the surface, how it determines, before studying that, one more activity I will do. So I will use inclined plane here, and I will roll out one pen. See how much distance it goes. Now I will keep the cloth on the surface now. I will keep the cloth now. See the surface I have changed now. I changed the surface of contact of this pen and this. Now see the movement. Have you seen? See the motion of the pen on the cloth. This much distance is travelled. But in first case, long distance is to travel this pen, because it is smooth surface. When I use the cloth material, it has much rough surface, so it will prevent the smooth movement of the pen. It stops the movement of the pen because friction is more. Now here actually I have used the sliding friction. This is a sliding friction. Okay. Now here, this is here what happens in case of friction. When two surfaces, when the object is moving on another object, now the two surfaces, they will face each other, they will come in contact. At that moment, it will lock. If you see, it looks a smooth surface. Any surface, if you see the table or the book or the floor, it looks a smooth surface. And when you see through the microscope or magnifying glass, you can see the irregularities. The surface will have irregularities like this way. Actually, this type of irregularities will be there, and your object also will have the irregularities like this way. So when the two book or the any object, when they will come in contact, if your book, maybe it may be your book like this way, it have some irregularities on the surface of contact, and the table also have some irregularities like this, not leveled one. minute irregularities will be there, which cannot be seen directly by our eyes, but through the microscope or magnifying glass you can see. Now what it results while this object, book is moving on the table, or any object moving on another object, these irregularities on the both surface, they lock each other, they lock into one another and oppose the motion of the first object on the second object. This is the way the friction causes the movement to stop after some time, because that irregularities on the both the surface, they interlock each other and prevent the smooth movement of any object. Now if you have smooth surface or if you have the wet surface, what it results, that smoothness or irregularities will be less. At that instant it have less irregularities, so easily the object can move on the another surface. So this irregularity causes the friction. Now when a heavy object, you have a heavy object, say a table, now you want to make it move, so you have to apply the force. Now why we have to apply the force? It is very heavy object. To start apply the force, then there starts existing one friction. That friction we call it as static friction. So under the types of friction, children, the first one is static friction. What is static friction? Static friction is the force when you apply on the object which is at rest, and at the instant when it starts moving from rest, it comes to exist at that instant. Then the force you apply to make it move, to overcome that friction, is called a static friction. What is static friction? It is that force when you apply on the object which is at rest. At the instant when you apply the force on the object which is at rest, object should be at rest, you apply the force. At this instant when the object starts moving from rest, then the friction which comes to exist, or the force when you apply it to overcome that friction, that is called a static friction. Okay. Now when you apply the friction, static friction, if you press it harder, the motion is little difficult, because how much force or how much hard they will press the two surfaces, that will determine the friction. If you much hardly you will press the surface of the floor, then it will move slowly. Example, you want to pull a mat on the floor, easily you can pull the mat. But on the mat, if a person is sitting and pressing it hard, then its weight will press the mat hard, then you want to pull the mat. Will the mat come easily now? Second case, no. First case, only mat, there you lightly pulling it, so it is not hardly pressing the floor, easily you can pull it, friction is less. But a person is sitting on the mat, then you try to pull it, then the weight of the person make it that mat, pressing the mat hard on the floor, so now it is difficult. Okay, so that also determine the change in the friction. That is static friction. Next one is, now imagine an object is at rest, very heavy object. Say, I have to try to push it. There is starts with friction, static friction, right? Now second case, the same table, it is moving now. Now I want to apply the force continuously so that this table go on moving further and further and further. Now in this two situation, which case I have to apply the force much? Tell me. First case, the table is at rest or heavy object is at rest, you have to apply the force. In second case, the object is moving, same object is moving, you have to apply the force on the object to move it, make it move further. First one, the object is at rest, you want to make it move further. Second case, the object, same object is moving now, you want to make it move further, you have to apply the force. So in which situation you have to apply the force much, or is it easy to make it move the object, first case or second case? If you don't have that experience, you try it in your houses, children, or some of you may have in your mind, you got the answer, you may have that experience in your day-to-day life. The answer is, the moving object, you want to make it move further, then you need less force. Compared to the first case, when that same object is at rest, you want to make it move further, then you have to apply more force compared to second situation. The reason is, this, when you apply the force on the moving object, then the friction is said to be another type of friction. It is called sliding friction. It is called sliding friction. What is sliding friction? When an object is moving, you have to apply the force to make that object have that same speed of motion. You have to apply the force, otherwise it stops, due to friction. So you want to continuously make the moving object to move further by applying force to overcome the friction. That friction is called sliding friction. Static friction is the object which is at rest, you want to make it move. That is called static friction. The second one is a sliding friction. It is quite little different. There, the moving object, you want to make it move further without changing its speed. You have to maintain the same speed and you want to make it move further without stop. It should go on moving. You have to apply the force. Easily you can do that compared to the first case. So usually sliding friction is smaller than static friction. Sliding friction always smaller than a static friction. Static friction is always bigger than a sliding friction. Now third type is a rolling friction. The last type is a rolling friction. Now what is rolling friction? Very simple, I will show it. Now this book, I will apply the force. Now it is little difficult to make it move, then it stops due to friction. Starting it is called static friction it has. Now I want to change into rolling friction. Same book. I will use this pen. I will keep it. I will take the support of this. Now I will apply the force. See now. Okay. How easily the book is moving now. Just I use these 3 pens. See now. In first case, I applied the same force. It find difficult to move. But in second case, with the help of this pen, I made it move little easier. Now, by using these 3 pens, when I apply the force here, the friction developed here on the 3 pens. The book is in contact with the 3 pens here. It will roll here. When I will put the force, actually it rolled here, the 3 pens, and this friction is nothing but the rolling friction. Rolling friction is always smaller compared to these two. Static friction is much more bigger. Then little smaller is a sliding friction. Still less well is a rolling friction. This is the reason you have seen heavy bags. Those who carry heavy bags, in their bags the chip, have you observed the wheels? So that even a small child can pull that heavy bag easily because it has to overcome the rolling friction. The wheel will roll and easily you can pull the heavy object, the heavy bag. Okay, so rolling friction is very less. Same way you have seen the skating. If you run on the floor, it is very difficult. It will take much long time. But the skaters, with the great speed, they can move on the road. How it is possible? It is the wheels on the below of the skaters. This one, you have wheels. And due to that, it will develop rolling friction on the floor or on the road, and easily their friction become very less. So easily they can walk on the road or they can move very fast on the road. The skaters you have seen, right? In the same manner, if you see any machine part where the two circle like a structure will be there, like this way, like machine section, the axle will be there, and this is the hem part will be there. They will use here metal marbles, small metal marbles here. Have you observed any such structure? Ball bearings it is called. So if you want to rotate this and this together, this is the inner circle of the machine, it is the outer circle. So two parts should rotate one inside the other. So at this case, if they will use small metallic balls, then will be reduced friction because they will roll very easily, because rolling friction develop at that instant, which is very less amount, that friction, and that the circular part will move very easily. So it is called ball bearings. Usually in machines, when the circular movement is there in the machine part, any part, then they will use ball bearings to reduce the friction. Okay, and you have seen by applying the oil etc., you can reduce the friction. So in this way we have studied the three types of friction: static friction, sliding friction, and rolling friction. Rolling friction is the least one, and static friction is the maximum amount value it has got. So in today's class, children, what are the things we have studied? We studied about the meaning of friction and how the friction changes or affects by the contact surface, what actually taking place to develop friction, and three different types of friction that we studied. Friction is nothing but whenever the two surfaces come in contact, and when the object is moving on another object, the surface will have irregularity. The two surfaces, they lock into each other and they will oppose the movement. That is nothing but friction. In static friction, they will lock already first, that two irregularity of the two surfaces which come in contact, so it is difficult to start. But in sliding friction, when the two surfaces are in motion, it won't get the time to interlock with each other, the two surfaces. So it is easy to apply the force to overcome that locking of the two surfaces. So to overcome the friction, it is easy. And in rolling friction, due to the rolling motion, the friction is least, and that friction is called rolling friction. In the next class, we will study what are the places will have the advantages if friction is there, and what is the bad about the friction, how to overcome that, etc. We will study in the next class. Meanwhile, read children, exam is coming nearby, and you have to read the textbook without fail, because different types of questions they will frame in the exam. You should be ready to answer. Okay.